I want to talk about body language and non-verbal communication. There's conscious non-verbal communication that we all respond to every day. If someone says that to you, you know what they mean. That, you know what they mean. They say that, and that. So we're used to communicating without sound. Originally, the only communication we had was in this form, but there's also our unconscious body language, which might say whether we're stressed or unhappy or angry or aggressive. And it's our subconscious communicating with someone else's subconscious, because they're not consciously reading your language, your body language, because they don't have that knowledge there. But their subconscious will be saying, oh, she's aggressive, or oh, she's weak, or whatever it is, your signal you're giving off. Now, this is interesting as a therapist because you can interpret how your client is feeling and whether what they're saying really is true, and have they really not had that cigarette, or are they really feeling so much better? Or it can also help how they feel about you, because you might be feeling tense or stressed, you might have just had a difficult phone call or something, but you need to communicate with your body language in a way that makes them feel comfortable. As a therapist, we begin to learn and study body language so we can become much more equipped at using it in a positive way, and perhaps catching ourselves if we start to do something that's not appropriate. But the most talked about person with body language these days at the moment is Donald Trump. And I'm sure you've heard some of the media information on this. It's really interesting because some of it's so very, very primal. When he's doing a speech, one of his big things is to do this. He's always doing this, which is basically saying, I've got no weapons here, you can trust me. Look, I've got nothing in my hands. It's very basic. He does this thing with his chin, the chin, the alpha male strutting chin. I'm not going to smile because that's a sign of weakness. If he does smile, it's just a stretching of the lips. It's not a real smile. So it's real alpha male body language, showing he's in control, he's the boss, but you can trust him. But the biggest thing people talk about is the Donald Trump handshake, and I just want to demonstrate this to see if this rings any bells for anyone. Louise is just going to help me here. So the first thing is we have the grip, the firm grip, and it goes on for a long time. And then we have the pat, slightly patronising, and then he tends to do that. Maybe not quite as much as that, maybe a bit like that. But yes, Louise, you want to sit down for that. Does this ring any bells for anyone? Does that?
That is like the Dave Ellman handshake technique.
Yeah. It's the Dave Ellman handshake technique. Now, when I first noticed that on a news footage, I can't remember which world leader it was, but I saw him pull him towards him. I thought, I teach that to my students as a hypnosis technique. Now, obviously, it's only a light trance it's bringing someone into. But nonetheless, isn't that interesting that he's using that? Yeah. Now, we can only guess whether he's subconsciously learned this or someone's ever actually taught him. It's a way of dominating a situation. But it's just interesting how body language, when you start to look at it, can tell you so much. Is alpha male body language relevant to us? Well, yes, it is. Because if you have a man coming into your space and he's got that very masculine, I'm in charge body language, if you start challenging that, that's not going to help generate rapport, particularly if you're a male therapist, and we haven't got anyone here who's a man today to bear that out or any of their experiences. But I think you've got to try and respect their position, but also get some credibility and some control of the situation yourself, because you can't be overly submissive, because he's coming to you for help. But if you challenge, then your body language can't be challenging. So any thoughts about how you might
I did have a client who had quite a sort of military bearing, and he sort of came into the room quite sort of forcefully. And so it was better that I stayed very upright and very open, ready to share my experience with him. And that relaxed him by me staying upright and yet open, no arms folded or carrying, I just thought this would be much more relaxing for him to just see that I was open to suggestion and he could then be open to suggestion. So that was very interesting to then watch him relax and sit back in his chair. So, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's interesting. So that that alpha male thing is worth knowing about, isn't it? I think also recognising signals of comfort and discomfort.
Yes, I think if people are anxious, they generally have their arms folded and their legs folded. So if you want to make them feel at ease, it's good to mirror them. So you copy what they're doing and then unfold your arms, and generally they do react and do the same. And likewise when you lead them, exactly. And when they sit down, make sure that their arms are in a comfortable place, but not crossed, but not to make a big thing about it, but just make them feel comfortable.
Yeah, I think leading by example with that can be very powerful. One of the things I think I notice on a regular basis with clients is when they're talking, when they're deeply engrossed in telling you their story, they'll often put their hands on their heads. And this is a sign of feeling defeated, feeling battered, beaten. In real terms, they're protecting their head. It's their vulnerable part, isn't it? So someone might be telling you, I'm feeling a bit better, but do that. You know for sure they're not actually. And you need them to be telling you the truth, because sometimes a client will come back and say, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, because they want to make you feel better. And that doesn't help, because you're not really helping them if you don't know their real story. So you need to know if they really are feeling better. And if they're feeling uncomfortable with you, what might you be doing to make them feel uncomfortable? Just maybe changing your position, maybe sitting back a bit, putting the hand to the neck. This is a very definite sign of feeling unsafe. Again, a really primal thing, because if you think of an animal, if a dog were going to attack you, where would they go? Your throat. So anything around the throat is a sign that someone is uncomfortable. Now they might be just uncomfortable about the subject matter, or maybe you're just sitting a little too close, or maybe you might even remind them of somebody. What can you do to be you, to give your own sense of identity with them and build on your own rapport? I think I also change my body language depending on the age of the client. When I've got youngsters, I tend to be much more like, I'll sit a bit more like that, or I sometimes sit cross-legged in my chair, just to look really comfortable and not intimidating, so that they feel more relaxed, and not like being the age I am, I'm kind of more or less the age of their mother. So I don't want them to see me as a mother figure, because that's not going to generate the right sort of rapport. Any other stories, experiences around body language with your clients?
Sometimes if they sit forward in the chair and I say, just make yourself comfortable, and their head is still anxious, I offer them a cushion so they can actually...
That's a good idea, because position again can help with comfort, can't it?
Yes, and then they do relax.
And actually, the word relax can be a bit hard, can't it? Sometimes.
Yes.
It feels like a pressure. Oh, I need to relax, and you can see people's hands are tense. I mean, they're very obvious things. Lying, are they telling you the truth? We've just said about, even saying they haven't had that cigarette and they're doing something that indicates that they're not. Maybe they're a bit fidgety. I think alcohol's one of the toughest ones people struggle with a lot. Giving people a sense that they can tell you the truth, it's okay. Open body language, it's okay. Just we need to. And if they're very fidgety or not feeling comfortable with making eye contact, maybe there's something going on there that a little bit of probing will help you to find the right story that's going on